Hello, everyone. Welcome to Healing is Power. I pray that everyone is having a beautiful day on this gorgeous Sunday. I have a very special guest with me, Miss Elaine with All Star Records. Thank you so much for being on today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Um, you know, um, as I told you before, I have different walks of life on my podcast, and it's just a real honor to have you on here. Speaking about some things in your life. So I really appreciate you being on here.
Thank you.
No problem. So just kind of tell everybody who is Elaine and how did you get started with All Star Records?
My name is Elaine. I'm 47 years old. I'm originally from Michigan, and I moved to South Carolina the end of '91. So I've been down here ever since. I've always loved music and had a passion for music. And I started promoting people and artists off of Facebook and became friends with them and got a good reputation, good friendship with them as well. Sharing their music and their events and everything else. And hang on. You there?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
But like I said, I have been promoting artists and their music for a few years now on Facebook. And I'm just now getting out of my comfort zone as far as meeting some of the artists that I have befriended with on Facebook. And Joe at Atlas Star Records found me on Facebook and asked me if I'd be interested in joining the team since I was already promoting music and artists. And so I agreed and I signed up with him and started working with Atlas Star Records for about 5 months now.
Okay, awesome. That's pretty cool. Who inspired you to uh, get with the record label? I know you just spoke on a gentleman, but was there anybody else that inspired you?
No, I mean, Joe approaching me and bringing me aboard really turned around and kind of helped inspire me. But like I said, I've always had a passion for music growing up, and music has always been my go-to. And I always wanted to get deeper into the music than what I had been before.
Right.
And this just gives me the opportunity to do so.
Cool. I know you just spoke on, you've been into music and everything like that since, younger. Who inspired you growing up?
The big inspiration that inspired me was my mom. She was always there for me. She was always my rock. She'd always been my support system, and my mom always believed in me and always told me, you can do whatever you put your mind to. It doesn't matter how big, how little it is. You can always do what you put your mind to. And don't let anybody or anything stop you.
Absolutely. I agree. My mother was the same way. She always told me to, shoot for what I wanted. And, I tell everybody I wanted to do radio and podcasting since a little girl. And, once it took me to like mid 30s to finally get back into it. But I'm just so happy that I'm, finally chasing my dreams. So I definitely can relate. Yeah. What's your favorite pastimes, like hobbies? What are your likes, dislikes?
My favorite hobbies and my likes and dislikes. I mean, I really like, I get into the music, the poetry, being around water, music, poetry, and the water has always been my escape growing up. So if I go through something and I don't feel like talking or what be, I get involved with the music and I listen to more of the music. Or I'll sit down and I'll write and I'll write poetry. And of course, being around my kids is one of my big things. Family has always been a big thing with me. I've got 2 kids. My daughter will be 18 next month, and my son is 26.
Oh, okay, cool. As you know, my podcast is about healing and healing from the past and everything like that. Can you tell the listeners like how you dealt with pain in your past, and you like what kind of advice can you give to those that's still suffering and trying to let go of any past traumas?
Yeah, I have been through a lot of pain over the years, and I'm a survivor of domestic abuse twice.
Mm-hmm.
I lost a brother to suicide about 6 years ago,
Mm.
like 1 week to my birthday, and then in July 4th, as a matter of fact, last year I lost a brother to a car accident, and then I lost another one in October due to a shooting. And I
Mm.
just recently lost my mother. That actually April 30th marks 4 months that she had passed.
Mm-hmm.
So
My
it's
condolences.
been really hard, and I have a hard time dealing with the pain and the trauma sometimes, and I have a bad habit of always shutting down
Mm-hmm.
anybody and everything around me. I will shut completely out just so I can focus and do my job because I have a full-time job as well
Mm-hmm.
as Atlas Star Records. So I always shut myself down just so I can try to cope and focus. And when I get like that, I mean, I really dive into the music, the poetry,
Mm-hmm.
spend a lot of time by the water just to clear my head and try to get myself um, above water, so to speak. And
Mm-hmm.
when I don't, I mean, the things I can say as far as giving it to somebody who is grieving and trying to get rid of, trying to come back to some kind of normalcy. Just know, I mean, it's a process. There are people out there that are willing to help you and willing to listen. Me, myself, personally, I mean, I will help everybody and anybody all day long with
Mm-hmm.
their problems. But when it comes to me, my way of dealing with it is getting into the music and the poetry. I mean, I will sit down and I will write poetry and um, share my experience. I used to think that me being a domestic abuse survivor, I used to think that it was my fault.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized that it was not my fault. I was not the one who was in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I've learned to turn back, as well as all the other pain, I've learned to turn that into trying to help people as far as, giving them my testimony that I'm a survivor
Mm-hmm.
on any of this. And with time, it healed people. It takes longer for others. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same
Absolutely.
time, if I know, like, if you're in a domestic abuse situation or whatnot, if I know I can use my testimony to help somebody show them, look, you don't have to live like this. You don't have to be like this. You can get away. There are people to help.
Right, right, right. Absolutely. There are a lot of resources out here that, can, if you're in a situation like that, domestic violence, there are resources out here that you can, go to and reach out to. I know you said like your like kind of like your happy place, your getaway place is music. That's been mine too.
Exactly.
That's been mine too, and also like listening to meditation like for the past I'd say year. I get on YouTube and I also post a lot of meditations that I like off of YouTube on my podcast so that people can maybe try to listen to it and try it out and see how they like it. Some meditation,
Absolutely.
prayer.
One of the big motivational speakers that I deal with is Trent Shelton.
Okay.
When I see a lot of his stuff, I mean, a lot of it hits, and I will post a lot of that on a lot of his quotes on my Facebook as well.
Oh, okay, okay. I gotta look. You gotta let me know how to spell that, and I'll look him up and see what he's about. I definitely love to hear other inspirational people, and like I said, meditation and everything helps. Prayer, scriptures. That's something that
Yes.
I do a lot on a daily. Because I have days where I'm not 100% me, and I have to get into prayer and scripture and talk to God and tell him what's weighing heavy on my heart, and that helps.
Oh yes, I mean, because there's days, I mean, that I'll tell you the struggle, especially since losing my mom. The struggle is real. I mean, my alarm clock goes off in the mornings for work, and it's like, God, I don't feel like it today. I don't have it in me today. I don't want to get up,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to pick myself and push myself because I have bills. I'm a single parent,
Right,
and I
right.
have a child that I have to take care of, and there's nobody here to pay my bills for me except me, myself, and I.
I feel the same way. I have days where I'm like, ugh, but I have to say,
Uh-huh.
you can do this, you can do this, you got this. So
Yep.
I get it. If there was anything that you could change in your past, what would it be and why?
Um, I really don't know that I would change anything from my past.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it has actually made me who I am today. It's
Mm-hmm.
given me the strength and the outlook on life as
Mm-hmm.
far as how I perceive people, how I perceive life, and let people know that, just because you're going through something and something's in the past, that's in the past, but it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make who you are today or in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody, at the end of the day, everybody has a past. And like I said, it really has made me stronger going through the trials that I've gone through.
Absolutely. I think more so the question was like, do you regret anything?
No,
No.
I really don't. I mean, if I could
Mm-hmm.
do a letter to myself, some of the stuff that I know now than I did before,
Mm-hmm.
I might do that. But as far as having any regrets, I don't have any regrets because it has strengthened me as a person, and I use that to push forward.
Right. Okay, I guess my next question will kind of tie into what you just said. What would your present self tell your younger self?
Um, Really, just to be more cautious and keep an eye on your surroundings and not be so trusting on people because people, family especially, will be the first ones to hurt you.
Right.
And
I've
just,
experienced that.
yeah, just kind of build yourself around and build not necessarily walls, but build some kind of barrier around you to a point where, yeah, there's gonna be hurt, there's gonna be pain, going through life. That's a
Hmm.
given. But if
Absolutely.
you have that barrier around you, it might give you a different outlook on how you react to um, how you deal with the pain and the trauma that you go through.
Hmm. Absolutely. I definitely understand. Is there anything that comes to your spirit right now that you would want to tell the listeners out there? Like just anything.
Um, just always believe in yourself and know that you're not alone in any situation. There's always someone out there that's willing to help you. There's always someone out there who's willing to listen to. Me personally, I'm not with me being on Facebook. I mean, I've helped people, and I tell everybody, even people I work with, if you've got a situation or you're going through something and you need somebody to talk to, then my line and my Facebook is always open to everybody because of the fact there's not always people around and they don't feel that they have people or resources that they can have as a support system.
Hmm.
And a lot of times people sit there and think that, oh, I have to deal with this on myself. Nobody needs to know. But no, and that's not always the case. I mean, there's always somebody there that's willing to listen. You just have to trust to find that one person that you can really trust and do so.
Right, right. I agree. Sometimes like from my personal experience, you tell people some, really deep and I don't want to say dark, but you tell people some really deep personal things, and it's like, say you and that person fall out or, whatever happens, then they're running, telling everything that they know about you. So it's very hard to trust people. But like you said, um, you have to find that right person and have that right discernment on your spirit to know, okay, this person, I can trust this person.
Exactly. I have a lot of people that I don't know that'll come to me and talk to me, and I guess it's just because that I have that spirit about me,
Uh-huh.
and whatever's said between me and another person, it stays between me and that person because it's not my business to put anybody's business out there. If they feel like they need to share their business with someone else, then they can do it on their own. But as far as coming from me, I will take it to my grave. I will not ever disclose any information about anybody.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm the same way. Is there any shout outs that you want to give to anybody? If so, shout them out.
Um, the biggest shout outs I have, I really want to give a shout out to my son Dominic and my daughter Ronnie. Y'all are my heart and my life, as well as my entire Atlas Star family, Atlas Star Record family. Y'all have been a big part, and I have really grown really big with my Atlas Star Records family. From the management to as well as to all my artists that we have on board.
Okay, cool, cool. Can you tell the listeners where they can find you at on social media, Atlas Star Records, IG, Facebook, any kind of social media platform? Let them know where they can
You
find you.
can, yeah, definitely. You can find Atlas Star Records both on Facebook as well as Instagram. It's just type in the search Atlas Star Records and it will pull it up. Now we do also have, you can go online to www.atlasstarshopping.com, and that is our shopping mall for fans, as well as if there's any artists out there that are interested in joining or seeing what we're about. It gives you everything that you need, and it gives you a breakdown of what we have to offer. And then you can also reach me by email, which is Elaine, ELAINE, at atlasstarrecords.com. So if there's any artists out there that are looking to join a record label or want their music heard, they can send me a link to their music through my email, and I can get it out there and go forward and help get artists to their next level as far as where they want to go in their career.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that information. Well, Miss Elaine, it has been a pleasure having you on here. Again, if there's any inspiring singers or anything out there, please reach out to Miss Elaine at Atlas Star Records. And again, it's really been a pleasure having you on here. Thank you so much for being on here.
Yes, ma'am. It's been a pleasure as well, and I look forward to speaking with you again sometime.
Absolutely. Well, you take care and you have a blessed afternoon, blessed Sunday.
And you do the same. Thank you.
Thank you.